Quiet on set. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Let's Poddy podcast with your host, Benji Weatherly. It's the podcast where you learn absolutely nothing.
All right, you guys, here we go. Season whatever, about absolutely nothing. We're back. Let's Poddy with Benji Weatherly and Annie Graziano. Our guest today is a young phenom from California that dances on the water, and really excited for the San Clemente push of pro surfers. And we have Cole Houshmand, and I'm assuming German?
Persian.
Yeah,
it sounds German, actually. A lot of people think it's German.
Pretty freaking cool. I thought about it on my drive up here. It could be like a really cool cologne company that you should start.
I know.
You're like, did you guys try that Houshmand? You know? That thing.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, you're going to start thinking about it. There's like Hume. There's a Hume deodorant. Look out. We got Houshmand coming in hot.
I'll go in on it with you.
Yeah. So, it's nice to have our future world champ over here. My brother, Jason Weatherly, would absolutely love this one because he's about the same size as J-Dubs when we were kids and doing the same kind of giant airs and hurting all of his surfboards, right? I mean, how's those surfboards hold up for your weight when you land on those airs?
I go through them like crazy. Not so much breaking them, but there's all
creases
buckles and everything. It's
the tails have no chance.
Yeah, I have to get like double
Totally. You're like 6 ounce double wrap graphite,
like carbon on the tail.
Yeah. I think that a lot of the surfers on tour don't have the same problems that like me and you and a lot of the bigger guys would have. and it really is because you have to have certain equipment for certain waves. And if you don't, you just get smoked because you can't compete with these little guys. And people don't realize that. But when you're on tour and there's Felipe Toledo can ride any board any size because he can, float around. But for you, what's your size? We were talking about earlier about 6'1", 6'2" is your shortboard.
Yeah, like 6'1.5", 6'2" is like my normal shortboard if the waves are kind of like.
I like that you do pintails too.
Yeah, well, these are like my Hawaii boards kind of, so it's like a lot more pinned out. I ride more thumbtails, yeah.
You do, right? I saw that at Trestles, and that was my jam too, because if you're big, you can hold your turns in and you don't get all squirrely.
Yeah.
You know, after 200 pounds, you're squirrely on most boards.
Yeah, the thumbtails are good. And then I ride a lot of swallowtail, like epoxies. Like my small wave groveler is a 6'1", which seems huge, but for me, that's like.
That's a tiny board.
Kind of tiny. Yeah, it's crazy.
You're 6'2"?
6'3".
6'3".
Yeah.
So when we were kids, not to always talk about the past, but Kelly Slater's shortboard when he won his first world title was 6'1", I think. 6'1".
Wow.
It was a 6'1" or 6'2". I Kelly will correct me, but it is a 6 something. And that just shows you like now, like if I rode a 6'2" board, that's my size, that's my height. I was riding a board that people were going like, you're crazy for riding such a small board. But now you ride boards that are a couple inches shorter than you. And that has become the norm because of all the Slaters and all the other people bringing boards into these little, just kind of like, we called it, wizard sleeve? We came up with that name, wizard sleeve, because it's like the littlest little wizard sleeve. It looks like the sleeve on a wizard's
I
thing.
kind of like the boards back in the day, though, a little bit longer and like.
More carvy.
I mean, you see people like now, they kind of like, they like love it. They like ride the old school stuff and whatnot, but.
I see that coming back too.
Like, but for me, it's like, I can't go bigger than a 6'2", or else it just like looks a little
weird.
Or it doesn't
and you're
fit,
doing airs,
it doesn't
dude.
even
Don't
fit in the
kid
waves.
yourself.
Yeah.
The stuff, that's the difference that people don't realize. We weren't doing inverted nose picks and, like full rotations and stuff. I mean, I'm sure we could have if we knew that was possible.
Yeah.
But you guys have to ride certain boards. And I've noticed the stuff you do on lowers left, you get so inverted and stuff. And if you rode a 6'4", it would be a lot harder to pull those.
Yeah. It's almost like you need something that still fits in the wave, right? To be able to do all that stuff. But
so let's start from the beginning, man. I mean, your parents are some of the coolest people in the world. You got really lucky. You won the lottery there.
Yeah, for sure.
So your dad's Persian?
Yeah, born in Iran, moved here when he was 9.
Wow, that's got to be the coolest
right before
story.
the war.
Did you know a lot of his story growing up? Did he?
Yeah, he's been pretty like open about it, which is super cool. And definitely not like the easiest life. He was born in Iran, moved here like right before the war kind of started over there with his parents. And
like 92, because 92 is when the Desert Storm hit, right?
No, yeah, he moved here in like probably late 70s.
Okay, so before that.
Yeah.
Before that. Okay.
Because he was born in 69, and he was 9 when he moved here. So yeah, sometime in the 70s.
And they moved to California?
Yeah, moved to California.
How cool is that for your pops? He's probably like, this is better.
Yeah, a lot better. And then, but he still had it like rough. Like he was in like, grew up in like Pasadena, Inglewood, like deep LA stuff. And
are your grandparents still in California?
They live back in Iran, but they come out every like year for like 2 months. And my grandpa just passed away like a couple weeks ago, and that's why I wrote 1942.
Oh, I was with the 1942. That's cool.
Everyone thinks it's like Don Julio 1942.
Oh, I didn't catch that, but yeah, you're right.
No, it was the year he was born, and then
what was his name?
Parviz.
Parviz?
Yeah, so it's my middle name actually too.
Oh
That's
man, that's a
cool.
good story. I got chicken skin. That's cool. A little nod to Grandpa.
Yeah, a little story for the Hawaii quiver.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so yeah, he grew up here pretty much in California his whole life, and then met my mom in college, I think.
And your mom's a Cali girl?
Yeah, Cali.
She looks like it. Just for you out there, she's blonde, beautiful California girl.
Thank you.
And, and that's got to be a cool thing. The mixture that you guys have obviously worked because you're a really good looking dude. And not to be weird. Sorry about that. That kind of got weird. But yeah, so this young man was a baby in the North Shore when I met him. And my little niece, Sophie, she dates Leonardo Bernatti. And but she's been around this new wave of surfers since it's all started. And I met Jake, Marshall, I met you, all these kids. And at the time, I'm like, I was still a pro surfer, so I had my ego as high as it goes. I was a prick, and I'm like, oh, this is cute. Look at these kids, right? Like, and it was funny because he doesn't remember this, but he gave my mom a board to put at breakers. It broke. And he was probably 16 or maybe 15 or 16.
Maybe even younger. I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was like, I think he had Volcom. He had Volcom sticker on it and stuff. I still have it at my mom's house in Hawaii. And he gave it to me. And I remember thinking, oh, that's so cool that this kid's so confident that he wants to put it up in the thing. And he's just this little kid. Had no idea how good he was. I had no idea how good any young kids are until I literally get to see it right in my face. So I got the board still there. And now I'm like the biggest fan because on the drive-through, like I knew he was getting good at surfing, but I had no idea that these were the best American surfers that live in this town. And we got drive through, and I'm with the Calapentos, and I'm like, "Hey, you guys, let's go bowling. Let's bring all your boys." And they all come. I'm like, "Oh, cool! I haven't seen you, man, since you're a little kid. This is rad." Awesome. And then we went surfing the next day at Lowers, and he's doing the biggest airs I've ever seen. And I'm all, "Oh no!" I go, "Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I didn't know he was one of the best surfers in the world now."
I remember that session too because I was like so stoked to be surfing with all you guys. I was like, maybe I'll get like a little mention in the show and like with Benji and all these guys because I grew up watching it way back in the day.
We own it now. Okay, so we own the drive-through, and we want to do a women's one next. Is what we're talking about. But now that we have the San Clemente crew, it would be the best crew for drive-through. Like Parker, Coffin, you,
so sick.
And then Crosby.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously Griff, if Griff isn't too big time now. Just kidding. But anyway, just that, and then bring in a couple Aussies and maybe like a Europe guy, and you guys would have the best drive-throughs. And it'd be so fun to see you guys take the flag and just run with it because your guys' camaraderie and just the silliness is why surfing needs this shit, man. I mean, we need to bring it back for sure.
No, yeah, I feel like American surfing is kind of making a comeback, especially this year and with everything going on. So it's super cool.
Yeah, explain to the people that don't know. So what surfing is like if we try to break it down like the tennis tour, there's a qualifying tour and then there's the main tour, which is the WSL, the world title race, whole thing. But he just explained to me that there's a pre-tour to the qualifying tour. So you have to make top 10 to get on that?
Not even. So it's super confusing to like the outside eye. Even people who surf a lot, they don't even know what's going on. But the way they have it now is because before the QS used to be like just one big thing. Everyone do as many comps.
Yeah, I remember. I was on that crap.
Qualify for like each year your ranking would go up and then you'd get into the 10,000s eventually.
Yep.
And it was one big thing. Like you could go to Europe for 1,000 and come here and then go to like Barbados or something. But now it's like everyone's assigned to their region and it's regionals. So now there's like still like 100 something people in each region. And North America, they take like.
So you should move to Europe.
I know.
Right?
Well, I feel like ours is the hardest one.
Oh, it's got to be. You guys have like hundreds of incredible surfers, but keep going.
It's crazy. So like, yeah, we have like 6 events on the regional tour. They take like 5 to 7 maybe out of like 100. And then those people qualify for the challengers. And then challengers are like 6 events throughout the year. And out of that, it's 10 that go to the tour. And
that's what happened this year. It's only 10 guys make it?
Yeah.
Holy cow. So 10 guys make it. Cole won the qualifying series. So that means he made it onto the tour. But then 2 other of your best friends. Cage. What's Cage's full name?
Cade Matson. Yeah.
Okay. And he's goofy, right?
Regular.
Oh, he's a regular.
Yeah. He's a big guy like me, big regular.
I love it. So you got you two, and then Jet almost made it, right?
Yeah, Jet was like 5 spots out, which is crazy because it's like you're so close to like achieving your dreams. Yeah. But at the same time, you also like pretty much had the best season of your life. So it's like,
and you don't get in especially surfing, I've noticed, is you don't get it right away. You have to, like Leonardo, like when he got dropped off tour last year, was it year before at the Gold Coast? I called him and I said, hey, whatever is going on, you have your mindset perfect. Because he goes, I'm looking forward to this process. And he was like, he fought. I mean, he told himself, this is a good thing. I need to learn more. Yeah. And he did. And he won the freaking challenge. Yeah. And it's like, if you have that mindset instead of like, oh man, I didn't make it. And then you start doubting yourself and that's when it goes wrong. But Jet's going to make it.
Yeah. Well, it's like really easy to get that mindset of like just thinking like, oh shit, I didn't make it. Like I'm so bummed. Like
your sponsors are going to drop me and you start worrying about
but then like
shit.
You realize like, like I said, you had like the best year of your life still. So if you can like, look at like you didn't really do anything wrong if you finished 5 spots out.
Yeah,
it's like
and he's good seed, so he's gonna be good for next year.
Killed it. Yeah.
And so who was there? Another American that made it? I think
Eli Hanneman, who's been like a part of our crew.
He's a little Hawaiian kid that does giant airs. He's such a good little surfer.
Yeah, he's like a Felipe Toledo, maybe even better at airs.
It's gonna be so fun to see you guys battle those guys.
I can't wait. Yeah.
And then so Eli, you, Cage, and
Jake, Marshall.
Marshall made it too. All Cali kids. And then Eli's Hawaii, Maui.
Imai Kalani.
Oh, I love that kid.
Yeah, he made it. I mean, so like if you're counting Hawaiians and
I always do.
Mainland,
so
it's like
5 kids made it out of 10. So 50% of people made it.
And Crosby.
Crosby too.
Oh, and Crosby. How could I forget that? He's our last podcast.
Me,
I love Crosby.
Cade,
oh my God, it's
Eli,
6 out of 10.
Imai, Jake. Yeah, that's insane.
6 out of 10. That's
Plus
insane.
the guys on tour already, so it's pretty cool. That's why I was like, it's like the new American wave or something.
Hey, how many did any Brazilians come off the qualifying? They're already on tour, pretty much.
Yeah, I think 1 or 2 Brazilians qualified this year.
Wow, it's fun to see you guys taking over, and not taking over, just representing. We were almost down to like 2 people on tour right when like all the guys dropped off. It was like bye.
Yeah, well, Kalohe fell off, and then Kelly fell off, but they gave him the wild card. And like, John's hurt. It's crazy.
I know. So which event is the most exciting for you? Obviously, Pipe Masters has got to be fun, but
yeah,
which one do you mark down as the one that you're most excited about?
I don't know. It's so tough. I'm like looking forward to just surfing like good waves finally in the comp, but without the cut and anything, I'm looking forward to Fiji. Like Cloud Break.
Fiji's back?
Yeah, Fiji's back.
What about J Bay still there?
No more J Bay.
But that's a tricky one sometimes.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that one, but
I love J Bay.
Cloud Break is like
that's you.
That's
man. You're the new Owen Wright out there. Seriously, he's gone, right? He doesn't surf the tour anymore.
Yeah, he retired, I think.
You're in a good position. Other than Gabe and Italo, I mean, you're the next goofy footer in there, really.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Challenge. Because now we got a big guy on tour. I like that. Jordy is still on tour, though, yeah?
Yeah, Jordy's on tour, but I'm like, I think we're like maybe same height, but I have like 40 pounds on him.
You do, huh?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
People always like,
what leader are you?
Like 34.
So 34, creepy.
Yeah, 34 liters.
When I was his size and I was riding like 2-inch boards, 17 and a half, and that's because this was before liters. By the way, liters is a new thing. I didn't grow up doing those things. I was just telling dimensions, but that's amazing. You can ride those boards. And when you get older, like how I am now, you'll try to ride one of these boards and you'll start laughing. You're like, why would I put myself through it? It's because it's the paddling. You're in currents that if you had a longboard, it would be hard to keep up with. And you're riding these boards. That's what kept us in such good shape, though, is like you had to keep up with these little guys. So you had to just power through. And it looks so much better on a wave, though, when you're a big, strong, like Luke Egan surfing. You're just like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. I'm actually going to be working with Luke Egan next year.
I got a funny story with him. I did the Pro Junior in Duramba, and I got this score at the end of the heat, and it was the score, and I came in and they didn't give it to me. They gave it, I think it was Taj or someone was in the heat, and we were like 19, and I was so devastated because I was horrible at competing, But he thought he was kind of semi-coaching, and he's like, you need to go up to the judges right now. He's like, I'm not going to let you not do it. You need to go up there and speak your mind. And I'm like, what? I go, I would never do that. Are you crazy? And he goes, if you don't do that, they're going to keep doing it to you.
That's
and I'm
crazy.
all, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, just do it. I promise you they'll remember for next time when there's a chance they could give you the score or they won't. They will. And I was all, okay. And I remember going up there, like knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Hey guys. And I'm like, you know, I'm a
nice.
psychopath.
Yeah.
I can snap because I have little brothers and always scrapped when I was a kid. But I was so nervous. I remember going, I didn't really like the way you guys scored that last one. Like I thought it was a 7. Like, and I remember
like going
the
up
head
to talk
judge.
to a girl.
And he's
You're all
probably the head
nervous.
judge. Ronaldo? Is he still the guy?
Ronaldo.
The Japanese? I mean, not Japanese, Brazilian, Ronaldo. He was like the head judge for
No, I think he just left.
Oh, he might have just left. He was the coolest. And I remember I liked him. And I was like, he's like, Luke's at the bottom of the stairs. And I'm like, man, I'm really bummed. Man, why'd you do that to me? And I don't know if it ever helped, but that's a good thing to have Luke because he is so smart and he's done it all. And it's cool that he's helping all you guys.
No, I'm stuck because it's like he's a big goofy footer, big guy on tour, like pretty much done everything that I'm trying to do. Yeah. So it's like I'm looking forward to it, and it seems like he's got a pretty good program going with Caroline. So,
is Caroline with him?
Yeah, he coached with Caroline last year, or she coached with him last year.
Cool. I'm so happy for her too. She was going to be on the Poddy today, but she's so busy being the champ.
I know.
It's insane.
Obligations.
Like, I got to get my hair done. I got to do yoga. I got to pack. I'm like, okay.
Well, it's crazy. Like I didn't even realize it. Like now that I qualified, it's like I have a lot more obligations and like stuff going on or people wanting to like do stuff, which is awesome. Like I love it, but I'm like, dude, I barely been surfing like the last like month. It's crazy. I'm like running to LA for meetings, going to Newport for shoots, like, which is like all part of it. And I love it. But I'm like, oh, I haven't surfed in like a week. That's like the longest I've been out of the water.
Kelly's the best at that, where he could have so much going on, but still get his surfing and still he's lit. That's why when you see him, he's just like this. Yeah. Is because he's the GOAT of being able to be a pro athlete. I mean, he's a professional athlete, right? And then to have all this responsibility, the better you get, it's going to get harder and harder. But if you have the right perspective, I just think if you just keep surfing, you'll be fine.
No, yeah. That's I'm going to Hawaii tomorrow, and I'm just like, just to get out of here and go surf. And train.
It's no contest?
Not till end of January.
So they don't do, what?
Well, it's like they have the Haleiwa like
XL
QS.
No. XL?
XL?
Sunset? XL Pro?
No.
That's gone?
Well, they had Sunset as like a regional now. Okay. And Haleiwa is also regional. So there's no more Triple Crown.
No more Triple Crown. You can't win a Triple Crown anymore?
Well, it's like a digital thing now. I don't know. I don't even know if
the Vans Pipe Masters still that like weird contest?
Yeah, so this year
I don't mean
like,
disrespect to Vans. I love Vans, but what happened to the Pipe Masters?
Yeah, so now it's like the Vans Pipe Masters is like the invitational
Holy God,
thing, and it's still in December. So
do you do that one too?
No, that one's like invite only.
Oh shit! But yours is still the Pipe Masters to start the year.
Yeah,
right. But you guys call it what now? Billabong Pro.
It's like the Pipe Pro.
Pipe Pro.
I think it's actually like Florence Marina and
did they
and Vissla is like collabing to sponsor.
John's gonna win and sponsor it like Kelly does. He's like the outer known pro. Kelly wins.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're that level, John and Kelly, if they win, you're like, yeah, of course they did.
No,
It's not like they're getting juice. Like if I was riding for them and won, they'd be like, hey, take it easy. Yeah. A little much juice there. But that's exciting. Is Chopes is still on tour?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one a lot. I'm just looking forward to getting barreled.
Are you still on the hunt to maybe be on the U.S. team, or is that done?
That's done.
That's already done. Who's going for us?
I think Griff and
nice.
John.
And John? Griff
or is it Kelly?
No, Kelly's didn't make it, I don't think. I would know that.
I feel like I should know. It's Griff and John, I think.
That's good. And then Carolyn, obviously, probably. And then whoever else, the other girl.
Carissa,
probably.
Caroline and Carissa.
That's a good team.
Yeah, that's rad.
Well, dude, that's cool. I've got my co-host over here, Annie. Actually, let me tell another little funny story. This is kind of cool. My little niece Sophie grew up with him, and she was telling me this one story that's super funny. And you're probably just gonna not even remember this, but she said it was the cutest story. So you guys went to Pearl Ridge to a haunted house.
Oh my God, I remember that.
And her boyfriend, Kainapao. No, what's his name? God, I can't remember his name, but sweetest little Hawaiian kid ever. And she said that, I mean, you must have been young. She's like
12 probably.
Yeah, you were just so scared that you're holding on to her boyfriend like this and just going, get me out of here. Like they're all scaring him. And he's just like, Dad, I don't want to do this anymore. And she said that was one of her favorite memories of you. So that was kind of funny.
That's so funny.
But that's being young. And I guess you don't like scary movies like me.
I guess
I hate scary movies, man.
I'm not a fan, I guess. Apparently, according to that.
I thought that was pretty rad that you're just holding on to freaking her boyfriend.
That's so funny.
But yeah, Annie, I want to hear some questions. She always gives some really good insight to the opposite of my brain thinking.
Awesome. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I would ask is like, 'cause I mean, this whole last year has been so major for you and your career. And a lot of it came down to that one heat at the US Open where like you knew it was you were either going to make it or not, and you'd have to keep going. So like leading up to that, that's so much buildup. Like what was going through your head prior to that heat?
Yeah.
I don't know this story, so to explain this. We're at the US Open, we're talking about?
Yeah. Well, it's pretty crazy because like start of the year snapper, I had such a good regional tour. And then I won my first QS. And then going into snapper, like all this confidence, I have like the worst heat of my life. Lose like first heat. And then I'm like kind of stuck in this like rut where I was like, oh, this can't happen again, like what I did last year. And then anyway.
Explain what happened the year before, not to get too far.
I didn't make, I like made like 3 heats the whole year out of like 6 events.
There you go.
Or 7 events. And I was like, you forget what it feels like to make a heat. And then so I was like, come snapper again. I'm like, no, this can't happen. Like I just had such a good regional tour. And going in this year, I'm like, I'm going to qualify, and then I lose first heat. Worst heat ever, management, everything. And I was like, wow. Like, I sat down with myself, and I was like, what's going on? And then pulled it together, won Narrabeen, and then won Bolito like a month later, back-to-back, which was crazy. And then going into the U.S. Open, I already kind of knew I was, like, qualified because with, like, 2 event wins and, like, I was, like, over 20,000 points, and it's like pretty impossible, but I'm always like skeptical of like, if they don't announce it, it's not official. And I don't want to like be the guy where something happens. Like what if they take away points? I was like running through all these scenarios in my head. Like if I like fuck up somewhere or something. Yeah. And then, so yeah, I was just like, I'm not going to like celebrate or tell myself I'm like qualified until like they announce it. And then come US Open, I'm like leading the rankings and they're like, do you want to know what you have to do to qualify? And I'm like, not. I was like, I don't know.
Is
if
this
it was
where they're
giving
you your jersey like right before you went out?
No, I had to do some like interview with like WSL like the day before the event, and they showed me the stats, and it was like make 1 heat and they'll announce it.
Oh shit!
And I was
this is
like,
what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I was like, damn it! Like now, like it would have been almost like it's crazy because you think like coming off 2 event wins, I would have like the most confident.
As soon as you heard the 1 heat, you're like, oh, just 1 heat.
I would have been like the most confident. Yeah,
4-man heats. Yeah. And for people that don't realize, they take top 2 out of 4, so you don't even have to win the heat. You just gotta get second.
I know.
How'd it go?
No, so I ended up like winning the heat and qualifying, and it was the best like thing ever because like all my family was there, all my friends like. So like I wouldn't have wanted it to happen anywhere else. So it was rad. But the crazy thing was,
just chill the rest. Did you end up doing pretty well in the whole event?
I got like a 9th. Nice. So, but not to say I like slacked or anything, but after I qualified, like we went out and like had like a couple nights, and then I was still in the comp, and I was like kind of just enjoying myself. And
for the people out there that don't realize how hard the tour is, I mean, you're talking, our tour isn't in America. It's around the whole planet. So the whole year you're traveling, it's the hardest tour you could ever be in. So for you to qualify in your home state right there with all your family, of course you're going to let your hair down.
No, yeah. So it was rad. But I was like, I always joke about it. I was like, I've never been more nervous to make like 1 heat in my life when I just won 2 events. Like I'm having the year of my life, and now I'm like, oh my God, I got to make 1 heat.
And you're in your hometown pretty much. I mean, it is your hometown.
And then, but I made it happen, and then it was amazing. But yeah, it was fun.
And did you go to the next event, or did you even have to? Portugal, right?
Yeah, I just went and finished all
just to be there, huh?
Because
like your boys too, right? Oh no, it was actually Brazil was the last one, right?
Yeah, Brazil was the last one. Well,
that looked like a cool contest.
It was sick.
Like every heat was like a really big moment in someone's career. That looked like it was.
It was insane to like be there with like
cheering your boys on.
Yeah, because I pretty much solely went to Brazil because after US Open, my goal was to like just win the rankings. Because if I didn't have like something to like chase after, I feel like I would have just like slacked or like kind of let my guard down. And I was like, I still had like, I had like 8 months till the CT starts. So I was like, I gotta like
keep going,
keep my head on a swivel and like get prepared. And so yeah, I was like, I'm just going to win the rankings. That's my goal. And went to Portugal, won the rankings there. I got like a quarters. And then I was like, well, do I go to Brazil? Like, I won the rankings. Like,
Did you?
and then I was like, I'm going to go there and just like support the boys, like help them out. Like, you know, anything they need, kind of like almost be like a coach in a way, or like, just go knock some guys out of the comp for them. And yeah, I went to Brazil. I lost second heat, so I didn't really help them out too much. It was kind of like, probably should have made the heat, but I didn't. And
You're a good cheerleader. Did Griff go to Brazil?
no, he didn't.
Oh, but he supported all the boys. That was really cool.
But I was there. I was like kind of like helping Crosby with his heats or any questions he had, Cade, like Eli. So it was like, I just wanted to be a part of it. I was like, I wanted to like help them qualify. And then
That's super
all the boys,
cool.
they made it happen, which is crazy.
I mean, it's going to be fun for you because when you're on tour, even when I was a little kid, I luckily had my older brothers.
Yeah.
And like now you have all your brothers to travel with. So that's got to be better than not. I mean,
Yeah.
right?
And they say it's like, I mean, surfing's such like an individual, like selfish sport, but like, I feel like the crew we have and like the aura we carry ourselves with is like, it's kind of something new. Not like, it's even like almost better than like, I wouldn't even compare it to the Brazilian Storm, because like we're all like best friends from the same town. So it's like, we're really truly like brothers. So it'll be like a fun time, and everyone's like good about having fun and pushing each other. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, when we carried Kelly up after winning the Pipe Masters the first time, that is now a thing.
Yeah.
And it was cool to be a part of the very first time you guys chaired. They
That's
call
insane,
it cheering someone up. We chaired him up because the moment was so nuts, because our crew was so tight, and Machado finally made the Pipe Master final against our best friends.
Yeah.
And they both went crazy. It was a moment in surfing history that'll never be the same, because it was a time where our crew took over the surf tour, and it was such a moment that we wanted Rob to win, but we wanted Kelly to win. And then Kelly won, and we didn't know if we wanted to pick up Rob too, but we didn't know what we were doing, but we're like, fuck it, we're carrying him up. And we carried him up, and I remember going, is this weird? Like, are we being a little too obnoxiously proud of ourselves? Because we were not the wave flagging and none of that stuff. No one did that shit back then. And we did that. And to see you guys doing it at the US Open, they did it for you, right?
Yeah.
I remember you guys, they're all freaking out.
Now it's like the sickest thing ever. And it's crazy that you guys kind of started that. I mean, that
trend.
was the
first chair up.
Because now if it doesn't happen, it's like weird. And it's
true. Like, I mean, you guys do it every contest.
The first time where I was like truly, really like, felt like what you kind of explained, like that, like everyone was just so.
But they had to pick this asshole up, right? They're like, you see Jet, he's all right, let's go.
It took 4 people to carry me up the beach at Narrabeen, and they would like switch off, like halfway.
That's a big beach, man.
The beach was like a quarter mile long, probably. And from the sand all the way to the tower, and they were like switching off like 3 or 4 times. It was the funniest thing. It took 4 people to carry.
We got to put that footage on. Oh, that's so funny.
There's a clip of it.
I mean, luckily Kelly was so small and Rob was like 100 pounds. But that's the coolest thing ever.
And Cade has like a hurt back, right? And like Bolito, like some of the boys weren't there, so it was just Cade and Cole. And Cade's like, I don't have a choice, and his back's like kind of like still like nursing and is like recovery, and it's like, oh no. It was crazy. It was so
They're
funny.
probably dreading this year on tour because you're probably going to win a couple of times. They're like, oh, no, Cole's got to be like 230. What's going on?
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
Best, man. It's exciting because the truth is the reason why my career and my life with our crew was so special, and it's still going. I mean, that's what's so crazy. The friendship thing that you guys are showing, the camaraderie, and I guess it's the relatability to having your friends in your hometown, but then you guys are doing it on a grand scale, and it lasts forever in the surf culture. Your guys' little circle is going to make a dent in our industry forever, and I'm looking forward to it because we need it. We need more humor and fun and silliness.
That's why I feel
Griff
like
and Jack do their little videos when they're getting all funny and like that Tahiti and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that shit, man. Have fun with it.
That's why I feel like we're kind of realizing like we have like something that's like even more special than just like events, like surfing events together. It's like
make movies, man.
Our crew is like, we each have our own unique personality. Everyone's funny. Everyone like loves to have a good time. And like, we kind of like Griff's good about it, but everyone else is starting to showcase that through like our social media and stuff. So it's pretty like cool to see. And I hope like it grows outside of like just like comp surfing. You know?
It will. You guys got to bottle it up and make not like Momentum movies, but make some kind of cool.
Dude, we always talk about, we're like, dude, we kind of like, we want to make something like Momentum. Like we have so much good, like
they made
stuff.
Momentum under the influence. Did you ever see that movie with Andy and Bruce and everybody?
Yeah.
And
It
that
would have been a while, but
you were probably just being born. It was, but that movie was the second Momentum generation, and you guys could be the third and just freaking take over and make it to where we go to your premieres. And I'd love to go back in time and start that shit over. It was so fun. Because you get to watch your part, and he wouldn't show you.
Yeah,
and the whole year you work on it, and then you get put in there's like a lineup. So it's like you wanted to get at the end of it.
Yeah,
and you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And so you're watching it, and then you're like, oh, shit, okay, Kalani's in. Okay, I'm after him. And then you're like, oh, shit, I passed this guy. Oh, shit, no way.
No, it's sick.
So much fun.
We just did our first movie with 2% and premiered it all up and down the coast. And then the boys went to the East Coast.
Is that the one where you guys went on a Indo trip together?
Yeah. So the movie's called Smooch. It just came out like 3 weeks ago. Same thing, Brother. And
his brother producing it?
Yeah, Brother and Jacob Van Ork produced and edited it. And they wouldn't let us see our parts. And so the first time we watched it.
Good job, Chloe.
The first time we watched it was at Stance, and no one knew what was going on, right? And the whole time everyone's like, okay, you either want the first part or the last part. Right. Like, do you want the start of the movie or the end? Like,
yeah,
and,
that's a good point.
So it was pretty rad. And then everyone was like, I was calling Brother like, dude, I got to see my clips. Like, you can't just like not let me watch like my clips that I paid for.
I love Chloe for doing that.
And then he's like, just trust me. I'm like, no, at least let me pick my song then.
Oh, yeah.
And then he wouldn't let us do anything. And then it turned out insane. Like, and
were there any waves though? Because I'm particular, man. I hated any bad waves in my part. Did there were a couple where you're like, why'd you put that?
No, everything was pretty good. I mean, there was like one or two where I was like maybe I had something better than that.
Yeah, filler.
But no, I think they did a great job.
Do you like your song?
It's so sick. It's a Kanye West song.
Rad.
It's a slow jams.
No, nothing's more exciting, I mean, in our world, in our careers, than a video part that you haven't seen yet, and it comes out, you're like, whoa.
Well, it's so cool to do their premieres, too, because it's like kind of like what they did back in the day. And, dude, Stance had like 1,500 people there.
That's so cool.
It was insane. So
was that during the Trussels contest? Is that when you guys did your premiere?
No, so that was, they already premiered Griffin's part for the movie as like a teaser and like a Go Griff for Trussels. But that was like, that was the impact. That had like over 1,000 people.
I heard it was packed. I heard John just did a premiere in Oceanside a little while ago, and it was a huge turnout.
Right. Yeah, it's fun.
So yeah, is there going to be any projects other than the tour? Or are you just going to focus on contests this year?
Yeah, I think I've been talking with the boys, and we want to make another movie. I think after this one did so well, and we're gonna bring filmers on the tour and whatnot.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like, at least now we get to go to these like good spots where I'm just gonna film like my parts and clips on the road.
That's what you should
like West Oz, Hawaii, everything.
Leo's got it on lock.
Yeah,
he has one of his best friends that follows him everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean his clips are ridiculous all year long. I mean,
yeah, and we want to document like also like around the events with all the boys. You know,
yeah,
like
that's when we got all the clips. Durban, you go to Bolito during off days and score clips and then do good contests.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. We'll see how it goes.
So I see a Vizsla, and that was my old sponsor, Billabong. Paul Nutty is the coolest cat.
Yeah, he's
a
man.
Fucking legend. And how's that whole thing going? Is that where are they at? Irvine?
Yeah, like Aliso Viejo, but it's been amazing. I've been with them since I was like 12.
That's so cool. They picked you up.
10 years now. And from the start of competing till on tour, they're supporting me. So
they must be freaking right now.
Yeah, they're so stoked. It's
that's awesome.
They've stepped up and they've been amazing support. Super like responsive to anything I need and everything. So it's really cool to work with like kind of like a smaller company.
An actual surf company?
Yeah, it's like a core surf company, and you know everyone. Like I know everyone in the office. Everyone, like I have everyone's numbers. It's not like I'm dealing with like so many people.
Well, your boss was a professional surfer from South Africa. I mean, Paul Nutty's story, that's what we got to get on the podcast. I can't even think about it. Paul Nutty is one of the coolest dudes ever. Mustache, 70s, pipe. He was in the Pipe Masters. I think he might have won the Pipe Masters. I could be wrong, but I know he was in the Pipe Masters in the 70s. And coolest cat ever. He started Gotcha, I want to say, helped start Gotcha. Yeah. And then he was my Billabong CEO for a long time. I mean, he helped me out buy my first house. I mean, this guy, I have nothing but praise. And he's an incredible photographer. I don't know if you know that.
He'll bring his camera around all the time and shoot stuff.
He used to shoot me and Andy at Tavarua, and I'd get out of the water and he would be, mate, you're fucking out of your minds. Like he was such a good dude. And so neat to see that Vizsla is doing well. And that's what we were talking about before we started the potty. There was a summit yesterday. Bob Hurley put on his Instagram, And it was all the hardcore surf brands left. And when I say all of them, there's like 5 left. And that's, and you're one of them. And they're trying to, it looked like from what I gathered that they're trying to, how are they going to bring back the surf industry, just the core demographic again? Because when I was a kid, we'd go to these trade shows and there'd be Blink 182 playing and everyone's having a party and we're surf videos. And it was, our industry was the best industry in the world and it's gone. There's nothing left now except big, giant corporations. So it's exciting times for your little brands like that you ride for. You ride for Lost too?
Yeah,
Jax.
Lost, Mayhem, Jax.
Mayhem boards seem like incredible.
Virtua.
I've never ridden one.
Yeah, you've never ridden a Mayhem?
I've never really ridden a Mayhem, but everyone loves them.
No, they're amazing. I been with them for like
Forever, huh?
No, I didn't start riding them until I was like
You're a rider
18.
for Solomon, weren't you?
No, Hayden Shapes, Australian.
Oh, Australian.
I rode Cole surfboards when I was younger.
Cole,
which
makes sense.
Cole similar right down the street, which is pretty rad.
Yeah, that guy's shape's good.
And then Hayden Shapes forever, and then I was 18, I think, and I started riding Mayhems. Right. And yeah, it's been the support from them, like just down the street, has been amazing too. Matt Biolos and Gian Bernini.
So what's Chloe's thing nowadays? Like, is he competing anymore?
Yeah, I was just talking to him, and because he got knocked off the tour, and then
was it an injury? Because I didn't follow it enough, but all of a sudden he wasn't on tour, and I was like, what's up with that?
Well, no, the cut, he just had like a few bad results, and then he didn't make the cut, got clipped, and came on the challengers with us. Didn't do so well there either, unfortunately, and then now he's just back on the regionals.
He's at Steamers right now.
Yeah, and he like won one already. Final, another one. Now he's
gonna
quarters
be on the challengers soon.
Yeah, most likely. It's like these 1000s don't matter as much because at the end of the year or in the next year they'll have like a 3000 and a 5000. It's like you win that thing and you don't even have to do an event. Yeah, so it's but I was talking to him and he said he was going to give it like 3 more years. So he's going for it.
I got tons of respect. I've always had respect for him and his pops and everything, but just how he's treating you guys, the next generation, that to me is because your character lasts forever, but being a pro surfer lasts for a minute. You know? And the fact that he's supporting you guys instead of being like kind of grumpy old pro surfer guy I have tons of respect for Chloe, and I love that he's making movies too. And I saw your guys one. You weren't. I don't think you were in it. It was that Indo trip where they're getting crazy barrels.
Yeah, Reckless Isolation.
Oh, they scored. Where was that right? Where the fuck was that right?
The slab, right?
Yeah, it was a slab right.
It's like a wave in the Mets.
It's but it's way up above Rifles. Sorry to divulge that, but it seemed like a wave up the reef somewhere.
I forgot the name.
So good.
That wave is insane.
Yeah, that was cool, and I missed that. That's why your guys' crew. You better start making some old killer surf movies.
Well, Chloe's been like, he really just truly wants like the surf community to go back to like the core basics, and like that's why he's doing movie premieres, bands playing. Like he's really just like. And he's trying to get like he gathered all of us like trying to like push American surfing and
respect Chloe, keep that up, man.
Yeah, he's been super helpful.
He was our first Olympic surfer ever.
Yeah,
right.
It's insane. No, and like you said, like his image is like way bigger than just like his competing, you know. And it's kind of inspiring me. Like at the end of the day, like the comp thing's gonna finish, and like you want to like give back to the community and like support like. He's supporting all these groms and like giving them like a platform in a way. So it's pretty cool whether it's like that or charity. And like, he's really like been like an inspiration in that sense of like, like your image is bigger than like your results.
Yeah. Your character is everything in life. Yeah. And that's why I was talking to Cheeto a couple weeks ago on this podcast, and he is now such a big star at his hometown or home country that he can't even go outside. Like, it's just craziness. But he's so humble and he appreciates every minute of it. And I'm like, I was trying to not explain it to him because he knows that's how his perspective is so good. That's why he's so great. I was like, hey, you know what the crazy thing about fame is that those people that are screaming and yelling and it's fucking so excited to see you in 20 years, they won't even know who you are. They won't even, they'll be watch you get a taco right in front of them and they won't even know it's, who you are. But they will, if you are the person that he is, then giving back to the community, then it's always going to be Cheeto. But if it's just about the career of a fighter or a surfer, it only lasts a little while. And trust me, you can be Mark Akalupo and when you're 60 and you walk down the street, no one cares. And it's like, but your friends that you've influenced and taken care of over the time, they're going to be barbecuing at your house and you're going to have those times. And that's what matters, right? the autographs and all the pictures and stuff. That's fun, but that's supposed to be where you're taking care of the other people because you finally got the light, and let's put it on other people. So Chloe, mad shout out to that. That's dope. What about, so San Clemente going to be your home forever? Or are you thinking about moving to Indo with me? Let's go to Bali.
San Clemente, I am pretty confident it'll be my forever home. Yeah. I don't think I'll ever move. And I think it's like, I've been able to travel the world and like, it makes me appreciate it here a lot more. And I, ideally San Clemente forever home, and then just have a house at every spot in the world that I want to go surf. Like
just a little nugget house, like
just,
not a big
one. Somehow just make a ton of money to where I can just like, have a house in Hawaii or have a house. I can't really have land in Indo unless you're like from there.
Yeah,
but
just talk to Rizal. But yeah, like Kalani Rob moved here, and he is told me over time, this is the coolest California town for pro surfing. Yeah. Like they love him here. And then, we're from the North Shore and stuff, and no one's giving you any props for being a pro surfer there. Here we go down on his electric bikes and people are screaming out like beef videos and like, and they love him here. And it's probably an amazing feeling for a hometown boy to probably get the love you get here.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Who's your food sponsor?
Food sponsor.
Yeah. You guys all have food sponsors here. I love it. The taco place, Pedro's or something.
Pedro's. We go to like Guicho's.
Is that the Italian place?
Italian,
yeah. So we propped them in the drive-thru. Remember? They got us food. What's the name?
Guicho's.
Guicho's.
Yeah, Louis.
Guys are cool as shit.
Our buddy's dad owns it, and he's like, that's the. That was our like every summer we have like a spot we go to a bunch, and it's like funny. And now they opened up Primo's Tacos. It's like 69-cent tacos.
I like your new spot. What do we have? That taco seafood place?
Sea Surf.
I love that place.
Yeah. It's funny. All these new spots, we just go blow it out. Like we'll eat there like 4 times a week. And then like now we're like, oh, maybe we'll take a break. But
remember Cultured Kitchen? You're probably too young. It was by the high school.
I know the name, but
it was like they made healthy sandwiches and stuff. Yeah. It's gone. I went there the other day and it's gone. I was devastated. Yeah. But yeah, San Clemente's always had love for the surfers. Like if you're in San Diego, there's not a taco shop that's like, hey, you're a pro surfer. Here everyone knows. And when you guys have your events, there's big posters and stuff. San Clemente and I would say Santa
everywhere.
Are kind of like the surf cities of California.
Yeah. Sir Coffee is kind of like our coffee spot. It's where everyone goes.
Is that the drive-in one? Drive-through?
No, that's Zebra House. Sir's like a new one. Our friend just opened it up like during COVID, and he's killing it now. So
that like south of Nix is really nice.
South of Nix, yeah, it's kind of a lot of nice. If you're a foodie, it's a good place to live too because there's so much good food here.
Every time I come up here, I
even like Encinitas too.
They take me to a new spot always.
Yeah.
Insane. What about you over there, Annie? You got anything?
Yeah, dude, I always got more stuff.
Go ahead, let's hear it.
I mean, probably the next thing is. Because I read a few articles about like you and your early career and stuff, and
this is his early career. No,
kidding. Like I mean like early.
No, I'm kidding. He's been a freaking good server for 10 years already. So go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of them mentioned like you weren't always like the biggest guy at the break. Yeah. So what was? 'Cause I know a few surfers right now that are younger and they're having trouble kind of like getting into that different style, going from being super like small to being a big dude. So what was that transition like for you and your surfing and your style?
It was crazy. It's like it's hard to pinpoint exactly how I really dealt with it. It kind of just like comes at you and you just deal with it. But I think for me, I grew kind of luckily at a pretty like slow and steady rate. Whether it was like a couple inches a year, it was still like I kept up with my body, and then a lot of that was just like training outside the water. And so yeah, a lot of physical training just to keep up with like my growing body, I guess. And then when I was younger, I like played every sport under the sun pretty much. And I feel like having that like background is like kind of helped me use my size and like deal with all that. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I think just like pushing through the tough times, and I had times where I couldn't order boards fast enough because I was growing so much. And yeah, it's just like not getting down on yourself and kind of just dealing with it. And for me, I just found like training outside of the water was the biggest thing that kind of helped me like not get too lengthy or clumsy or whatnot. So,
what sport would be the second chosen one? Like what were you really good at? Football, basketball? Like
probably my best chance was either baseball or soccer. Soccer was like my second sport. I mean, I talk about baseball a lot, but like I played soccer the most. And it came to a point when I was like 13 or 14, I think, where I had to like really choose. Like, because it was getting to the point where I was like either going to travel for soccer or travel for surfing. It was like,
whoa, dude, I'm so pissed you're not a soccer player.
Yeah,
You know
I mean, I'd be
how
like,
cool it would be for us. We can go to those
insane,
big
yeah.
stadiums and freaking throwing beer at you and stuff.
so I mean, if I was a soccer player, I'd probably be
A lot richer.
You'd be interviewing me in my own house right now.
No, but that's cool. I mean, we're lucky to have you in the surfing world.
No, and it's
but that's cool. Did you get to a point where you were going to go to college and do that kind of that level, or were you still a teenager when you were doing soccer?
It was kind of more just teenager, and it would have probably been to the point where I went to Europe and kind of skipped the college thing. Went and played in Europe. So yeah, it was crazy. My dad played professional soccer in Europe, so I would have like followed that path.
No, Iran is incredible at the World Cup. They always do pretty well.
Yeah, they do good. He played in Germany too, which was
Is there
rad.
waves? And I know I've been to Israel. I surfed in Israel when I was young.
I've done events there. It's crazy.
You've done events in Israel?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's insane.
I know. Is your dad tripping on all the stuff that's going on over there? Does he have family close to it, or is it pretty far away?
Yeah, he's not like really tripping too much. A lot like really our only like super close family was like my grandpa and my grandma over there. But yeah, he's kind of just stays out of like that. Like his life is like here now, and he just like it's like he's a full on American.
Yeah,
so,
that's cool.
but yeah, it's crazy everything.
I know. And your pops surf with you now still?
Yeah, he's such a grom.
Really?
It's
it's like Griff's dad.
Yeah,
he rips too.
Well, like even like my dad didn't start surfing. I mean, he tried it a few times when he was like in his 20s, but he didn't start surfing until he had me and I started surfing. So he kind of grew up with me in the water, and it was like he is such a grom. He like surfs like more than I do sometimes. Like this last like 2 weeks, I've been like running around doing like more business stuff, and he's like, he'll be texting me like the waves are firing. I'm like, you can't text me that because it's like I'm like in a meeting losing my mind, and you're the one surfing. I'm like, the roles should be reversed right now. It's
so rad.
No, it's rad. It's so awesome. Like to be able to like grow up and surf with my dad at like our age right now. It's awesome.
Are you guys one of those douchey people that drive around in a golf cart around here?
We don't have a golf cart. My mom wants to get one so bad. My dad's like,
I almost crashed into one when I was coming down here. It was like 6 of them. They're like, whoa, shit, a golf cart.
My dad's like, we don't need a golf cart. We don't even have a place to fit it.
Yeah.
We have like all the e-bikes and stuff. So he's like, if you want to go somewhere, you can just ride that. But we live like close enough to the beach where it's like, where are you going to take the golf cart?
Is the beach, can you get down right here? Is
Yeah,
there
you
like a
just
cliff
walk
or something?
Yeah, you walk right around this corner and there's like a little staircase.
I love your guys' neighborhood. It's so cool right here. Is there in Riviera's is over here?
Yeah, Riviera's like right back there. Lost Winds right here. But the last like 10 years, it's been like, there's no sand.
Yeah, it hasn't been good.
I heard they're going to start, actually, I don't know if I want to blow the secret. So
yeah, you don't have to blow the secret.
Again.
I almost got Ryan Scheckler on today too because he's a good friend of mine.
Sick. I was just hanging with him about a week ago.
Awesome. Yeah, he just has a little baby.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's cool to see all the success from action sports in this area and how much they respect it here. You know, San Diego is so spread out and so big that you know you kind of get lost in the shuffle. But this town it's really cool. Like we've been doing Herbie Fletcher, now Crosby, now you, and San Clemente is kind of our new spot, and we should almost call the season the San Clemente season because it's. I want to keep doing it. Like I want to do Christian Fletcher. There's so many guys. Even Wardo would be freaking pretty.
Oh,
rad.
you guys gotta get Wardo.
Wardo would be rad, right?
Or the Godowskis brothers too.
Godowskis. I never think about. Imagine putting Pat or one of those guys.
Yeah.
What's the oldest brothers?
I think Pat or Dane. Yeah.
Dane would be insane too. Yeah, we should get a Godowskis. That'd be rad. And try to ask them to spell their last name for me. How do you spell that?
There's so much. You guys could go so like deep in talent here, like Yeomans.
Oh man, I miss Yeomans too. Yeah, so we need to do
Dino.
that.
You know Archie. You gotta get Archie.
I thought about Archie too.
I searched for him yesterday. Yeah, I see him all the time. I did a Maliola Foundation.
I saw him on the podcast. You guys have the couch, or whatever.
Couch surfing show.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that they're doing stuff like that. And yeah, Archie, talk about legend. Wow.
Yeah.
And then is Ford still around? Is she in Huntington?
Yeah, he's in like I think Newport or Huntington. Newport? Yeah.
Yeah, this is the surf capital of California. No disrespect to Santa Cruz, but kind of taking over here. We got like 20 people on tour from here.
That's awesome.
And skaters and everybody. We got Christian Hosoi coming up in about a month. He's moving back down. He's in inland a bit.
Sick.
I love him. He was one of my heroes. I love Christian.
Yeah, no, it's cool. The talent runs like so deep, even just outside of surfing. Like you said, Scheckler and.
I know. Did you ever mess with skating?
Yeah, I skated a bunch when I was younger, and then I broke my wrist like 3 times.
Yeah.
And the last one I was like 18, and I was like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah, your Vissla contract probably says please don't.
yeah. I mean, I skated a bunch until I was like, till I was like 15, and then I broke my wrist when I was like, I think I was like 13, and I kind of like stopped skating, and then I hopped on a skateboard in my friend's like driveway. We're like skating like a little like just like box he had. Not even quarter, just in the street. And I just like ate crap, broke my wrist. And I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm like 18, like going in the prime of my career as a surfer, and I'm breaking my wrist skating in a driveway. I'm like, okay, done. I'm like, luckily I didn't like that one. I didn't have to have surgery. And
I know you don't have any big injuries right now, right? You're all cleared.
Yeah, I'm all good now.
It's knees and ankles big guys have to worry about.
Yeah, I've had like some minor stuff like out of the water for a few weeks.
That's good.
But luckily nothing crazy. And I think that's like a big part of it is like my physical training, and I stretch like 45 minutes every day. I warm up. It's like I treat it as like my like a body is my temple. Like so it's I kind of pride myself on like that's how I'm maybe staying away from most injuries is like taking care of myself. But if it's gonna happen, it'll happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it'll happen. So
but you can always get back quick if you take care of yourself for sure.
Or do all the measures to avoid it. So
yeah. And like injuries are happening no matter what. It's gonna happen, but it's a matter of how you bounce back. And yeah, there's so many layers to it. I blew both knees, ankles, everything. But I've been healthy for so long that when I twisted my ankle the other day, I was like, oh yeah, I just tore my ankle. I'm out forever. And you forget. It's just so bad. Like one injury can last for so long.
Yeah. And that's like, I've got to the point now where it's like, if I get injured doing my sport or surfing, I'm completely fine with it. Yeah. But it's like, it's the other stuff. If I get injured, like skating or bowling or like.
That was so fun. We had the best bowling night together.
Snowboarding or something. Like it's, I'd be so pissed at myself.
You ever snowboard?
I love snowboarding,
that's
but
my jam. Just hit me up on that. I got Burton codes for you for boards and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll take you up on that.
Guys.
We went to Utah like 2 years ago. That was the last time I snowboarded. I took this season off last year.
I just got a 170, a custom 170. I don't
Sick.
know. You know what I'm talking about? You know, custom, the board from Burton. So they're called the custom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and they made me a special one that's big.
Right.
You know, I'll get you one. It's insane. They'd be like carving on like a 6'8". Just
it's funny. I Mayhem has like a deal with like LibTech, and so they got me the Orca, which is like a pretty like good board. And I don't know like much about snowboarding, but people always go up to me like, "No way, that's the Orca, sick. How is that thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." I'm like riding it on like it's like a powder board, and I'm like riding it at the park.
Oh, you're
or
so
something.
good, dude. I'm gonna hook you up with the best boards in the world.
Sick. No, thank you. I'll take.
And that one's I don't want to jinx it, but that one's so much safer than skateboarding because you can be mellow on a snowboard. You can just carve and cruise. As soon as you start hitting rails though and jumps, and like anything can happen.
The powder stuff's fine and like carving, but like you go with a group of friends that like want to send it, and then you're sending it, and then like
so sketchy.
Even when we went to Utah, it was snowing every day, but we had like boys running into trees. And,
yeah,
like,
no, it's so dangerous.
Before you know, we're like trying backflips and stuff, and you're like, okay.
I did a movie called Life as a Movie, and I took surf, skate, and snow guys doing their sports, and I took Kelly snowboarding and Tony Hawk surfing, and Kelly snowboarding was one of the funniest things. If you ever see that movie, Life as a Movie, and it shows he looks like a 70s snowboarder, because he has a surf style. He's got knock knee, and you're just like, that's so crazy to see Kelly do another sport. And then took him skateboarding. It's so fun to watch the best of one sport do the other guy's sport, and they're not good at it. Like Tony surfing, you know, like so silly.
It's crazy.
But that's what made that movie so great is like you get to see your heroes be kooks. Me and Tony jump off this huge thing snowboarding, and we both land on our ass. Bob, like 50 feet. We jumped off a giant cliff, and we both aged.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's so fun. I got to show you that video.
Yeah, no, I love it. So
yeah, well, cool, man. Well, if you have any more questions, I mean, we've taken a lot of his time. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm cruising.
I always got more questions.
I like how she's just lying there, like
just cruising.
Yeah, I mean, my question probably be going into like this next season, since it's your first season on tour and you're coming off such a like career high so far after like having a really tough season before that. Like, what's the vibe going into this season? Like, what are you focusing on?
Your goals, maybe, huh?
Yeah, goals.
You know, like, what would satisfy the first year on tour? Top 10, top 5? winning?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like kind of more in the personality now of like reach for the stars.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got to set goals.
I have it kind of like layered as like my number one goal right now is just make the cut. Cause like after the cut, then you can like really go for it.
Explain that too. The cut is, how many is it? 12? 12 events for the year, right? 12?
It's 10.
It's 10.
Yeah.
So after fifth event, they cut.
They cut 10 guys.
It's one of the most cutthroat sports on the planet, you guys. These guys train and work so hard to get on this tour. I still can't believe it happens. I would lose my mind if I was on that tour and then they cut me after 5. So
crazy.
not only is it the hardest tour to ever get on, but you get on, and after the 5th contest, they clip half the guys. How many guys get clipped?
10 guys.
10 out of 24?
Out of, it's like 30 guys, I think.
30 guys and 10
so
get
a third
clipped.
of the tour get cut.
Unbelievable.
And it's kind of it's just crazy because like the rookies, like you're surfing the QS your whole life, and then now you're surfing a different format with heats. Waves are way better against the best in the world, and they're like, okay, you have 5 events to adapt.
Insane.
And I guess if like, yeah, if you're going to be the best in the world, you'll do it. But it's like it's crazy.
It's not very.
I mean,
fair.
you see, like,
I hate to say it, but it's not fair.
look at someone like Zhao. He lost or got cut like 2 years ago, and then he requalified and then top 5. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, if you're gonna make it happen, it'll happen. But so yeah, my first goal is a cut, make that, then rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year, nice.
And to top it off would be like final 5.
Sick.
And I think that's just kind of like a momentum thing. If I can just like roll the momentum from this year and the next year, but I'm just really looking forward to like surfing against the guys that I idolized and like grew up watching, and now I can like kind of like look them in the eye and be like, I'm confident enough to be like, all right, let's go. Like, cool. I could take you in heat. So I'm just looking forward to like doing that, and then kind of just like I want to make sure I'm still having fun. And like that's the big thing with this last year on the Challenger Series is like I feel like our crew had like the most fun, and everyone was like, it was just a good time. And I want to kind of translate that into next year with our crew is like, let's just do the same thing. Like we worked our whole lives to get on the tour. Like not like, you don't want to just like kind of isolate yourself. You want to have fun, you know, like go if we're like, I mean, we're not going to be going out before the comp, but like, you know, celebrate stuff or have fun, go do fun stuff.
Yeah, I told Griff that's why I'm so proud and happy that when he did the podcast with his brother.
Yeah.
I said, nothing makes me happier, Griff, than that you're actually having fun doing what you're doing. Like that, it resonates to the sponsors and all the fans and everybody that if he's appreciating and having fun with what's going on instead of earphones, fizzle balls, and you know, like that shit doesn't resonate to us. Like I love Gabe.
And
Gabe is the best.
You can do both. There's like a balance.
Yeah,
even Gabe in a sense, like the guy loves to go out, you know, and he has a good time. He can shoot the shit with him, you know, and it's like. So everyone, like, it's just finding
kind of
like
warmed
a balance.
up, right? Like it seems like 5 years ago he was a little bit more intense.
Yeah, maybe he's warmed up.
So
now,
I think he's kind of figured out like,
I'd warm up after 3 world titles.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's kind of warmed up.
Yeah,
but I totally see what you're saying. Like you can have both, and that's the dream is to be able to be Griff and dominate and kill all these contests, but then make videos with Jack, making silly workout videos and having fun with it, because then you're not so stressed. And then when you lose, you already had this great trip. Yeah. And that trip is what you remember when you're older. You don't remember, oh fuck, I made 2 heats in a row. Like, you don't remember that shit.
No. So I'm looking forward to that. Like just kind of like enjoying like being on tour. Like that's what it's all about. Like if you don't, I worked my whole life to get here, and if I don't enjoy it, I'm going to like be bummed. So that's the main goal. And then just like, I'm like truly excited to just like surf against like the best guys in the world. Like, I mean, I'm to surf against Kelly, who's like been winning world titles since before I was born. And it's like,
you get to surf against Jordan.
Yeah. It's like guys, like I have photos in my yearbook, or my mom like makes like yearbooks. I have photos of like me and Kelly when I'm like 6 years old, like mom, this is Kelly Slater, like photos with them, or like Medina, stuff like that. So just, I'm looking forward to being like, now I'm in heat with you. It's so sick. And,
they're nervous.
Yeah,
they
are
because you know you're the new shit coming up, and those are the most threatening ones.
Yeah, so I'm just more excited for it, and it's like as long as I work as hard as I can work, then I'll enjoy having fun. You know, I think that's the balance is like being able to like work my ass off. I'm still surfing 3-4 hours a day, training like 4 times a week. like mental preparation, everything. As long as I can like get all that stuff done, then yeah, I'll go cruise with the boys, stay out late, maybe like hang out if we go to the bar. I don't know. Like, I'm not like a big drinker, but just like have fun and enjoy.
You gotta have fun, dude. You're 22 years old.
So
yeah, and these are the best times of your life right now. Don't waste it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. So
I remember Joe Cools at Durban Beach and partying with my friends at night surf contest and all that. I remember that stuff way more than I remember making heats and making the final at J Bay and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all about like the memories, I guess.
Memories, and you guys have best friends. All those videos you watch, momentums of all the way through 20 years or whatever, is all the best times of your life. It wasn't the contest. It was your friends, the camaraderie, the stupid drives for 4 hours down the coast, looking for waves. And you get skunked. And at the end, your friend rides a board down some sand dune.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was the funnest day ever. So, and with your crew, like Griff is I guess you would call him the captain since Chloe's on tour right now. And he's only 25.
Yeah, 25.
25. And he's the ringleader of you guys. So you guys have a long time you can take over this sport, and I'm looking forward to it. And Kelly will still be beating you guys in 10 years, but I think it's time for Kelly to pass the torch to you guys, and it's going to be fun to watch, man. And shit, did you see the new Dubai wave pool? Kelly says insane. It's way better. He didn't say way better, but he said it's better in every way.
It looks like it's more like a real wave, too. Yeah. It's more open. I mean, I heard nothing but good things. Yeah. I guess they're not going to have an event.
To take your pops to the Middle East and fucking get to surf that.
Be crazy.
Be sick.
Yeah, I took him to the Kelly pool.
He did get to surf it?
Yeah, we had a buddy like his like friend rented it out, and so I was like, shoot, we'll pay. Like it was like a couple grand or something. And I was like, my dad's like never truly got barreled. I was like, all right, I'm taking you to the pool with me.
Goofy or regular?
Regular.
Oh, so, he got the good one.
Yeah, he went there and he had just had knee surgery, so it was a little bit of a bummer, but he had his brace on him. He got like a couple little like divisions.
Yelling?
I was on the ski and then I was also just like cruising in the water at the end section. So it was cool. There's but that's where I'm like stoked. Like my dad's surfing with me at like 50 years old, so
getting his first barrel.
Yeah.
And in California, I always say it, one of those waves at the ranch is better than any wave that's broken on this coast in the history of this whole coast ever. Yeah. And it comes every 5 minutes or whatever. So it's like if your dad or anybody I have all my friends that are pro golfers and the guys from Metallica and all these guys. And I can't wait to I already took the golfer guy, Adam Scott, but to see them, because they've never got close to a barrel. Yeah. And they will, if they get to their feet, they're getting fucking shacked. No matter who you are, you're getting barreled. One day we're going to get Annie out there.
I know.
I had her boss is a bodyboarder, and he was with us, and he was getting so shacked, and his smile is this big. I'd paddle over the waves. Like,
it's so rad.
That's so cool. He's a good dude.
He talks about that.
Yeah.
Love him.
No, it's awesome. Dubai should be cool. I think they're going to have some sort of event in 25 probably.
Let me run down the tour events really quick with you. The first one is Gold Coast? What is it?
No, it's Pipe.
Okay, so Pipe starts off. And
Sunset.
Then Sunset.
Portugal.
Portugal is Super Tubes?
Yep.
Okay.
Bells. And then Margaret's.
So Margaret's is the cutoff.
Yeah, the cut.
Oh, you're going to be fine. Those are all accommodating your style.
Yeah, like big, powerful waves. So, and then after that, the fun happens. I think it's like,
what is it?
I don't know now the order, but it's like Chopes, Cloud Break, El Salvador, and then I think it's just lowers.
Is it just lowers? Is there no Brazil?
Brazil.
Brazil. Wow, fun. You're going to do well. I can't wait to see this crap. And also, is Jet... So this is one thing I was trying to explain to someone today when I was talking about you. Since you won the Challengers Tour, you're not going to have to go against Gabe and them, right? You'll be seeded a little better.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have the best seed possible, but...
So you'll go against probably top 10 guy or something.
Yeah, which... Like,
it's gnarly. They're all gnarly.
Is it like John or Gabe now? Because I was thinking about Kelly. Or Kelly. Well, I was thinking I was like, sick. I got the number one seed. I got the best seed. But then I was like, the final five was gnarly. But then I'm like, well, Medina wasn't in the final five.
Yeah, you might have.
John, Kelly. I'm like, it's gonna be stacked.
No matter what,
I was like, maybe I should have finished like fifth or something.
So what we're trying to, I'll explain it to you is, so when you make the tour, if you're the lowest seed, you go against the number one seed. So it's like, it's the worst thing ever. Is like you made it, but you just barely made it. Well, good luck, because you got to go against the best guys. And by him winning, he gets 10 guys ahead of him have to go against all the guys. But just like he's saying, like, I think 10th was Kelly and Gabe and shit.
Yeah, it's pretty classic.
But it's not going to matter, man. It's all about just surfing like how you can. That's the cool part. If you surf 80%, you're going to win every heat. If it's try to surf 100%, then the shit gets whacked.
Yeah.
Because you're trying too hard. And
that's the crazy thing. Yeah. It's like,
How's when a wave in a heat and you get it, and if just all you did is surf it. You just surfed it, and they're all 9.2. You're like, what? Yeah. And then you get a wave where you do a sick turn, and it felt so good, and they're like 5.8. You're like,
oh, it's crazy. That's what Luke was telling me. He was like, don't feel like you have to surf like out of body every heat, because I'm watching all these highlights like Medina and like backflips and stuff. So I'm like, okay, well now I gotta take my surfing. Obviously, I'm gonna want to take it to the next level, but you realize like if you just like surf like 80%, 70-80%. Then you'll do pretty good. You know, because I was thinking I had to surf like 110 just out of body.
So this is the thing that a coach is good for, is because my biggest problem was I always thought I had to surf better than everybody. Yeah. I was like, I had to do the best air. I want everyone on the beach to go, that was the coolest air, whatever. That never works. But when you surf a wave, when you watch, this is a big one. If you watch Andy during his reign for those 3 years where he was winning, he was surfing 75%. He was surfing so slow and calm that the judges, even us as spectators, you wanted to see it because he looked like he was taking his time and he was patient. It's why Kelly's so good. Yeah. When he rides a wave, he would always tell me, Kelly is so funny. He's like, you need to fucking slow down. Like, stop this shit. Like, you need to surf in the pocket. And it was him or Rob told me one day, they go, you want to surf the speed of the wave. Yeah. If it's a slow wave, you surf slow. If it's a fast wave, you surf fast. And he's like, I would always want to surf fast because I just thought that was better than everybody. But it is, like, especially your kind of surfing, if you just take your time and surf, it is so much more appealing to the judge, because he's like, you're seeing this little kid go, boom, doing air, and it looks all sketchy, and you're like, I guess it's a 6. But if he sees a big, powerful guy taking his time, shit, that's scoreable.
I feel like the power surfing's coming back, too, in a way. Big so I'm super excited about that.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I can do airs, too, but I was like, my favorite thing is just laying into a turn. So.
I know. I mean, you won those 2 QSs in solid, meaty waves. Like that Narrabeen shit looked fucking hard to surf. It's like Aokai, and like Hawaii.
It was like almost like a sunset, but a left on finals day.
It's nuts. Like and it was sandbar, right?
Like, it was sandbar, but it was like breaking like 100 yards, couple hundred yards out, like big rips taking everywhere. The end section were just like.
Even Bolito was kind of like that too, right? It was a little chunky.
Yeah, a few like the. Round 2 and 3 in Bolito were like bombing. Like I was doing runarounds, just like gassed and like work. Like couldn't even make it back out. How to do a runaround, like getting washed on the rocks. And then like the finals day was like kind of pumping too. So it was cool. Like I was able to win like in a firing left and then a right. So
and that's why the Narrabeen was one of the oldest sites of pro surfing. When I was a little kid, the biggest pro junior contest was there, and then the world title would always be kind of there, like Damian Hardman, Bart Lynch. So it was cool to see you guys finally have a contest there again, and then you winning it. Yeah, and there's a big surf community there. How good are those pies?
Oh, it's so meat pies.
No, but the one they have right there in Narrabeen that's like super famous. I think Damian Hardman's mom owned it or something. I miss those freaking chicken veggie pies from Oz.
I go on these trips and it's like a food fest. It's crazy.
That's fun. That's what I remember about most places that you go. You're always like, when you're in Hossegor, you always eat this place, and then that one place has the mussels.
Oh
the blue and white spot. Yeah. There's always like if I talk to I love talking to people. I get to go on the places I traveled my whole life. My niece is one of them where I'm like, oh, you're going to that town? You should go to this place. She's like, well, how do you know? And I'm like, I've been going there for 30 years.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's so neat that our community, it's like you jump on and you're like, oh, that shit, you guys have already done this. So tell me this, help me. Yeah. But it was some exciting. Rad. No contest in France though, huh?
Nah, no more France. No sucks. More wave pool right now. No more J-Bay.
Kind of like the no wave pool thing. That's
I don't mind it. But no more J-Bay was kind of a bummer.
That's a bummer. I wonder. I'm sure that's a long way to go on your guys' tour.
Yeah,
like to get there and stuff. Well, shoots, man. We're gonna be freaking. I got you a Let's Poddy shirt out there, and I'm gonna get your Pops one too.
Thank you.
But yeah, we're gonna be huge fans, and we're gonna come back. We'll do a podcast next season, right when you have your first world title. Are you gonna put the trophy over here? Kelly will be over here like trying to steal it. But
well, hopefully, if I have a world title, I'll buy my own house.
Yeah, sure. So, but I wouldn't move out of this house. By the way, your parents' house is lit.
No, I have like a little trophy room in my room, and then I was telling my mom I just put everything in here probably. But they have like my big Sydney one's like this huge glass one. It's out like in the living room. Sick. It's pretty rad.
I know the trophies. I made a couple finals in my life. One's a parrot from Costa Rica, Billabong Pro. It's a parrot, but it's really tall and silly. It's like the worst trophy ever because it's so corny. But I still have it, and I'm like, God, I wish I did a better trophy for that one. And then J Bay, I made the finals J Bay, and they gave me a picture frame of J Bay. It's really cool, but I'm like, where's my fucking glass bowl or whatever you got?
Well, when I won Bolito, they had this like huge trophy, and it was so sick.
How'd you get it home?
Well, no, listen. So they had like this huge thing. I was like, wow, this thing's insane. And then after the awards, like, oh, here's your actual trophy. And it was like this
really?
like tiny little one.
But you're probably glad.
And I was like,
been
I was like, at least I can travel home with this one, because the Narrabeen one I had to like get some WSL to ship it.
Right.
Or Vissla shipped it for me, and it was like this like big.
It's a good problem to have, though, huh? It's like Gabby had so many trophies one year. I heard, like, I think Slater or someone told me a story where it was like he was trying to travel and it had like a globe from the Rip Curl Pro, and it's like this big, and he's in the airport.
Insane.
That's fucking great, man. Well, hopefully this year goes as well. But the cool part is it doesn't even need to go well in the competition, because you're going to do well no matter what.
Thank you.
And it's going to be fun to watch, man. And I appreciate you, Annie. You want to say anything on the way out?
Thanks for being on the podcast. Super stoked to watch you and all the San Clemente boys represent California well this season.
I don't do DraftKings or whatever it's called, but I might this year. Just put all my S.
Play some bets.
Play some bets. Yeah, it's cool that Kalani, Rob's wave pool's about to open too. Have you tried it?
No, I want to text them like, hey.
No. We got to go out there together when you get back from Hawaii, because she's going. She's actually doing the media for it.
No way. So
she films it all week.
I'm super down.
Tomorrow or Tuesday.
I'm going out on Tuesday. I've been out a couple times. I went with Ian Crane and Aton when they went out there, and it was insane.
So
and my boss went with Italo and
I'm sure
Katie
Italo probably goes crazy on that wave.
Yeah, I'm psyching for that.
It's a wedge.
Now I'm like right down the street pretty much. So no, but yeah, thanks for having me. It's good to see you guys. It's been a while,
luck, buddy.
So
it's cool to see what's happened in your life since I've known you since you were a baby, pretty much. And cool to see your family and everyone come together. I can't wait to meet your sister, and she's a tennis player, so it's just athletics for days in here. And appreciate you, and thanks for listening, you guys.
Thanks.
Peace out.